snow on the ground, minus whatever it is out there. Terrible.
Us gardeners are frustrated during the winter, but we don't have to be. We can grow things inside. And EarthBox, do you remember that wonderful little box we had growing things outside of my deck at home? Have a look at this. It really was the most amazing product. And what's really nice about it is you can bring it inside. And what's even more amazing is it creates a wonderful educational tool. You can get kids involved, you can get teachers involved, and we're going to find all about that. We're here down at EarthBox, which is headquartered in Scranton, with Molly Philbin. Molly, thanks ever so much for inviting me. Before we get into the kind of educational side, why don't we just go through some basics and put an EarthBox together?
Well, I'm delighted to be here and welcome you all to our small corner of the world where we're reaching out globally to bring sustainable agriculture to the people of the world with our little EarthBox.
That little thing is responsible for something quite special, isn't it?
It certainly is.
There is, how would you call it? It's like a little shelf that's about 3 or 4 inches off the base.
The aeration screen that allows the oxygen to get to the roots of the plant.
Very, very important. People
Yes.
forget that oxygen is vital for the roots to keep alive. So this is the first principle, is good aeration of the roots.
That's exactly right.
And below
the
that?
aeration screen. And that sits about a half an inch up above a water hole drain that's in the bottom of the EarthBox, which you can see right under here.
Yep.
You don't see it from the front, but it is under here. And any excess water will drain out of the box, so you never overwater the EarthBox.
Fantastic. And in each corner, well, let's say 2 of the corners, there's a little kind of a drop, a little well.
That's exactly right. That cutout is where the potting mix that we lay on the aeration screen will drop down into the reservoir, where it begins to wick the water up through the dry and airy porous potting mix, which is very, very light and airy.
Now this is a wonderful organic mix, isn't it?
It is wonderful, and you can almost make a snowball out of it because it holds the moisture. It is a beautiful product to
very
use in the
earthy
EarthBox.
smell. I
Yes.
love that.
And it's OMRI certified. And as you get up to about 2/3 full, you're going to add the dolomite, which is a sweetener. It's a lime, a hydrated lime, and you mix it into the potting mix, and it brings the pH up to a level where plants are happy and getting that kind of sweetness in their soil.
Excellent. And after that, a bit more soil?
A bit more soil, and you like to round the soil up over, and in fact, it's a potting mix, not a soil. It's a soilless mix. And then once you have that mound, you add your fertilizer. Now, the fertilizer you want to always stay above the roots of the plant, and that's why you create this mound. The scientific engineering of this EarthBox has the fertilizer being drawn down to the roots through the capillary action as it diffuses it and meets the roots of the plant. And they will take what they need during the season, such that they'll take more fertilizer when they're producing fruit than their little seedlings.
So you don't waste any?
No,
And sometimes
there's no
fertilize.
waste of fertilizer, and none of that fertilizer will wash out of your box because of that uptake from the bottom.
Again, another strange thing that occurs in this kind of design is the covering of the soil, which you think you cover the soil with a kind of little membrane. Why would you do that?
Oh, Paul, that is such a big, important part of the EarthBox. If you'll just bring
Yep,
the
I certainly
cover
will.
out and we'll take a look at it. First of all, it's white on one side and black
like
on
one of
the
those
other.
shower
It's a
things
shower
that-
cap is what
well.
our kids call it in education. The white side is used in the desert or Florida where the temperatures are high and you want to reflect the light. But here in northeastern Pennsylvania, we're much happier with the black side.
You like the heat.
Yes, we do. Now, before we put the cover on, we did want to put the watering tube
All
in,
right,
which
let's
is
show you
also
that.
in that bag.
This is how
Very
you fill
good.
it up. Yep.
You fill it up, and the water tube is always in the front, and we place it right in the hole here, and that's where you will always water an EarthBox. You take the mulch cover, and there are 2 holes, one for the white side, one for the black, and you put it around the watering tube, which secures it,
I'll
and
grab
just
that.
like a fitted mattress cover, you put that top on. And this is unusual, but what it is the controlling component of the EarthBox. With this, no weeds grow. You control the amount of water that gets in the box. Just imagine if rain came flowing through. It would diffuse too much fertilizer and burn the roots. It would wash it out. We wouldn't be sustainable
Took me a
anymore.
while to understand, but having seen the results, and the science is good, it works brilliantly. Now, the other thing I kind of think of, it stops evaporation as well.
That's exactly right.
So the water won't evaporate at the soil, means less watering, yeah?
Yes, 50 to 60% less watering than in traditional methods of conventional farming.
Excellent.
It's excellent. Around the world, this can really help people where there are drought conditions, or even in Georgia, or locally sometimes we have those issues.
So, I did this on my deck. It was great. What we're looking at today is indoors, and there's a couple of little examples set up there. We'll be back and have a look at those in a minute. But first, let's talk about EarthBoxes around the world.
Paul, this map represents, if you take a look at the little wedges of red, where the EarthBox is working with the Growing Connection, a project of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the American Horticultural Society, teaching kids how to grow foods in EarthBoxes and then they sell what they grow. It also improves their nutrition, it improves their diet, and it improves their communication around the world.
All right then, Molly. So how do you get teachers involved? How do you get your earth boxes into school? Because often teachers go, I've got no time to do this. It's going to be a nightmare of organization. Is it?
Well, we hope not, because we've worked very hard to make it not. What we have is a standard-based curriculum that takes you from pre-K through elementary, middle school, and high school, and all of that focuses on the science of water, nutrition, light, soil, and plants. From the sunflower, which children just love to grow sunflowers for preschool, right on up. These are baby steps learning about plants, but finally in the high school they're doing authentic experiments.
Now, what I want to do is get mine off my deck now and into my house. And this setup, let's go back and have a look at this, because a lot of you at home will be very jealous of this. How do you get the plants to grow? What do we do with this plastic membrane?
Well, you need to cut a little hole into the mulch cover, and you can place your seeds or seedlings in there.
And to add extra supplementary lighting, it's quite simple really, isn't it?
It is very simple. We got these grow lights, and you can use the very fluorescent lights, or you can get the actual grow light to use that hangs very nicely on a staking system that's correlated to the EarthBox.
Fantastic. Now, you said there was a snow pea there for me to try?
Oh, certainly.
Excellent.
Let me see here. It's just a little baby one. It's our first baby. And you can see, show them that the seeds
Oh,
are
look
there
at
for
that.
the
Yeah,
students
look at
to understand.
3 little seeds in the pod. Yeah.
It's so green and nutritional. You're eating it right off the plant.
It's a legume and it's full of presumably protein. Can't eat your peas, as they say. Eat your beans and peas, and this is one of them. Well, Molly, thanks ever so much. We've just scratched the surface of this wonderful educational tool. How do people find out more about it?
Well, Paul, they can go to earthbox.com, where they can find out all about the educational EarthBox, and they can also find information to email me. Thank you.
Very soon, you'll be enjoying the fruits of your success. Thank you, Molly.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, that's delicious. Very nice. You sure it's just one there?
It is.